Pastor Roy Gearhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, this week we're rebooting these daily devotions. Mondays will come with the Monday Minute. Tuesdays are for 2. Wednesdays, well, that could be a wild card, but I want something less random than that. And so Wednesdays will focus on a word. We'll take a key word from the scripture that we're looking at to help us to understand the message of the gospel. Today, the word that I want to focus on is judgment. Judgment is something that plays a key part in the book of Habakkuk. The prophet Habakkuk is concerned with God's judgment of the people of Judah. Now, he's not questioning whether or not God is entitled to judge them. He's not even questioning whether or not God is correct in his judgment. He recognizes that the people of Judah have turned away from God and become corrupt and evil in their ways. And so he recognizes that God is justified even in bringing punishment upon them. But what concerns Habakkuk is the way in which that punishment is being delivered, because it's coming by way of the Babylonians. The Babylonians are a conquering power who have invaded Judah and are causing havoc and destruction. And so Habakkuk is looking to God for some relief. And his question is, God, you're righteous and good. Surely you're not switching teams. Surely you're not going to let the Babylonians, who are worse than we ever were, come here and devour us, simply consuming the people of Judah and wiping them out. And so Habakkuk questions whether or not God is ever going to hold the Babylonians accountable for what they've done. God's answer is to promise Habakkuk that there will be a day when he will hold the Babylonians responsible for what they have done, that they will not go on unchecked, but that they will have to answer for what they have done, and they will be stopped. Well, this is a message of hope to Habakkuk, because he can look forward to a future that will be better than the present, that God is not going to let the Babylonians wipe them out, and he is not going to let the Babylonians go on as they are forever, but he will put things right, and he will end their evil. Now, we don't often look at judgment as something that is hopeful. In fact, many times we look at judgment just as a negative, that we try to avoid being critiqued, having our lives examined, and we don't want to listen to other people telling us about what we've done wrong. In fact, there are many people who, even if they know nothing else about the Bible, are capable of quoting Jesus' words from the gospel, saying, "Do not judge, or you will be judged." But that's often just used as a deflector shield from anyone bringing any correction to their lives. It's a way of saying, I'm entitled to do whatever I want. Judgment, poorly exercised, is going to have a poor effect. And that's what those scriptures make clear to us. And God instructing us not to go around judging others, he's letting us know that we are not licensed to go about condemning other people. In fact, many times when this Bible warns us not to judge others, it pairs it with words like condemnation and contempt, and tells us that you and I are not empowered to condemn others without mercy, or to show contempt toward others as if we're better than them and above judgment ourselves. Romans 2 warns us that if we treat others that way, that we're not showing contempt to them, but we're showing contempt to God, that we're showing contempt toward God's mercy, because we're not recognizing that we are as desperately in need of God's mercy as anyone, that we are not above God's judgment. And if we exercise that kind of condemnation on others, judging them without mercy, showing contempt toward them, that we will be liable for God's judgment, just as the Babylonians were going to be judged for what they did to the people of Judah. You see, God's judgment is actually a promise of deliverance, that he is there as the one who will set things right. Most of us will avoid going before a judge at all costs until we are in need of justice. When we need someone who can stand up for what's right, who has the authority to put things right, then we seek after a judge. And that's what we seek after in God, one who can set things right, who has the authority and the power to stand up for the truth and to do what's right. That's what God brings to us. That brings us hope, that the future will not be filled with the evil that our present is, but God will put an end to it, and on Judgment Day, will put things right. May God bless you, and as you share his good news, may God make you a blessing wherever he takes you.